Hey guys, and welcome to the latest Kronos Heavy Review Diaries. Today we want to take a look at a product that we've been really looking forward to here at Kronos Heavy, and that is the brand new reference power amplifier from Eversolo, which they have named the F10. So as I mentioned, this is the brand new reference model from Eversolo. It follows on obviously from the release of their previous power amplifiers, but this is something that is going to give people a little bit more who want to go more high end with their system. It's going to give it more power, more refinement. It's got much better power supplies amongst several other upgrades, which we'll talk about very shortly. So to get one of the main questions out of the way, the price of the new F10 from Eversolo is £2,199. And really, to be fair, when you look at it in terms of the build quality, I mean, it is built extremely well. It's very resiliently built. The manufacturing is exceptional, as has always been with Eversolo. And in terms of its power delivery and what you're actually getting for that price, it's actually very well priced and very competitive compared to other things on the market. Obviously, design-wise, it's very nice. Everything you expect from a power amplifier. Obviously, with power amps, they are obviously a lot more minimalist, but it is nice. You get small features, they say, such as the VU meters here on the front, which are lit up nicely. You have a really nice solid on-off button there on the front. And as well, you're getting single-ended as well as balanced outputs here as well. These are switchable on the rear. Really high quality binding posts. Obviously, of course, the mains cable can be upgraded as another way to do that. You have your triggers as well, so it can be obviously linked to the likes of the A10, which would be the streaming preamp matching product to this. Also, what I quite like is it has a small earth on the back as well, which again, just you can always use if you want to try and bring that noise down, or you're having any sort of problems with any sort of a hum. You can just bring that noise back down, and obviously that's going to let the music come out much more. But to give you some more details about the F10, so obviously it has varying power outputs depending on your load and how you're using it. The one that's probably most relevant to you guys will be into 4 ohms, and this is put out an impressive 350 watts into 4 ohms. It can do up to 950 watts bridged, but the one that's probably most relevant to most people will be the 350 watts into 4 ohms. So it's going to power pretty much any speaker in the market there. It will drop as well to power 2 ohm speakers as well as 8 ohm, of course. Excuse me. So pretty much the world is your oyster in terms of speaker choice when you're using something like the F10. It's going to power pretty much anything out there relatively effortlessly. But what also is really nice about the F10 and Eversolo have done is this is a very low distortion amplifier. It's very quiet. There's absolutely no hum or noise off it when it's powered up. Obviously, with big powerful amplifiers, sometimes you do get that hum, that sort of background noise, because the transformers obviously have that hum from them. It's hard to avoid sometimes, but the Class AB design of the F10 means it is exceptionally quiet, so you're getting all that power and all that enjoyment from the amp, but you're not having that sort of background noise or having to deal with fixing that background noise, which is also part of it. It's also impressive. It's got 5 MOSFETs per channel as well, which is quite impressive in regards to the transistors. For its price point particularly, that is a very impressive feature, and obviously is giving you a lot of performance, and that is going to help obviously the refinement as much as anything of the sound. It's going to be much clearer. But as well as that, because you have that abundance of power, what you get from this F10 is really solid bass. It's not overpowering because again, it is more controlled. It's got all the power you need in order to make that bass really pop, but it's a controlled bass, which is key. Obviously, it's very easy to send a lot of power through your speakers and basically make that bass driver, or even on your subwoofer, for example, fire bass out everywhere, but it's hard to control that bass. What the F10 does really well is that it sends it the power that is required, but because it's got so much in abundance, it's essentially ticking over most of the time, and it's just filtering out the power that you require, keeping that bass nice and tight and nice and controlled, with having plenty in reserve for when the music dusts, so you're getting that fast, punchy bass. So as soon as that your speaker needs that extra power, the F10's got it in abundance really, and it's just able to send it really fast, giving you that really crisp, punchy bass. But as I said before, because you have those 5 MOSFETs per channel, you've got this real refinement of the sound. So those vocals, those instruments, and that three-dimensional depth and the dynamics, the sound stage is all very, very clear and crisp, but it's not fatiguing, which is really, really key. As I mentioned before, obviously this can work ideally with EverSolo's A10 preamp and streamer, but of course it is fairly universal. It is a fairly universal power amplifier. So if you have a different pre, we've had a few people actually already who've purchased this that are actually going with a valve pre, purely because they want just something a little warmer. So you can obviously match this up with a valve pre, which is giving you that warmth and musicality. And then you've got the Class A/B of the F10 here, which is going to give you all that power. So you're getting essentially the best of both worlds. But as I mentioned, you can really do whatever you like with it. You can match it up with any preamp you wish. It's fairly universal in terms of matching it as well. Sonically, as I say, it's quite a neutral sound. So it does work very, very well with most brands out there. And overall, really, for that is a £2,200 price point, there's very little to criticise. It's built exceptionally well. Sonically, it's impressive. It's packed full of features. It's ultra powerful. You know, everything is just built to a very, very high standard, as has always been with EverSolo. Personally, we love the design. We like the minimalist factor, but also obviously you do have some nice features like the VU meters there, and these obviously beautiful heat ducts down the side. So really, if you're in the market for a power amplifier and your budget is in around that sort of £2,000 to £2,500 price point, the F10 is definitely something worth considering. It's worth coming and having a listen to, and as always, please feel free to always ask our opinion. We're happy to answer any questions you have. Once again, if you're asking about pairing this up or wanting to tweak that sound slightly in regards to maybe making it warmer, maybe making it more three-dimensional, etc., etc., we're always happy to advise what preamp may work best for you, as it's not always necessarily the manufacturers that is exactly what you want sonically, which is where we come in, because we can obviously make that out for you, figure out what works best for you as an individual, and then put together the system that is essentially perfect for you, for your room, and for what you want to achieve through your system. So as always, again, we have this in demonstration. If you want to come in and have a listen for yourself, you're always more than welcome in any of our stores. You can check out the full details and specs on our website as always. And again, if you have any questions or you want any advice whatsoever in regards to the EverSolo F10, please always feel free to get in touch. We're always more than happy to help. And I hope you guys enjoyed this very, very quick overview video. And as always, please feel free to ask any questions in the comments, drop us an email or give us a call or call in store. We're always happy to help. And I hope you guys get a chance soon to hear the F10 from EverSolo, and see you soon in the next one.